Hello,
Yes, sir.
can we start,
Hello.
sir?
Yes, sir. We will. Just I'll introduce you. Hello. Good morning, all. Today we have Dr. Sailendra Mehta. He is the principal, College of Physiotherapy, Janardhan Rai Nagar, Vidyapit University. He has conducted many uh, workshop and seminar on basis of for the cancer rehabilitation and preventive oncology practice. So I request you. I welcome you, sir. Silent sir, I welcome you for the
Thank you, sir. Thank
webinar
you, Gaurav,
myself.
sir.
Yeah,
Thank you,
you
sir.
can continue, sir.
First off, I extend my sincere gratitude to Dr. Gaurav, sir, Dr. Navjot Trivedi, sir, who has provided me opportunity to interact with the students of Parul University, a well-reputed university in the Gujarat. Myself, Dr. Shalin Mehta, working as a principal department of physiotherapy, Rajasthan Vidyapit University, Udaipur, and working in field of cancer rehabilitation from last 10 to 15 years. I am certified lymphedema management therapist also. I used to treat the patient regarding cancer rehabilitation as well as lymphedema. It's a very common complication of the cancer. So today first I welcome all of the participants and students, faculty members who has joined me for this today's topic integrated opportunity of physical therapy in cancer rehabilitation. As you all people know, cancer is the word itself enough to fatal anybody. And so many things immediately come in your mind. Why it happens to me only? God has punished me for something wrong. I did something wrong. So many ideas used to come in your mind. But my dear friends, in present scenario, nowadays cancer is the totally challengeable and the treatable field. And if we, the only thing we require here is the early diagnosis and proper management. Here we are lacking always, especially in our country, India, like the developing country, because we don't have any screening program here. And cancer rehabilitation is a very good and challengeable field in present scenario. Lot of opportunities there for physical therapists also, because you are also the member of palliative care team. As you all know, palliative care is the specialized care provided for the patient of the specialized needs, just like a cancer patient. And it is not a one day or one week treatment. The treatment is going on for months to year also. So you are the prestigious member of the palliative care team, along with the surgeons, physicians, dietitian, and all other allied health professionals. So it's a very good rehabilitative field for the all physical therapists. You have a lot of opportunities here. That's why nowadays you just see the incidence also, it's increasing very rapidly day by day. All the new big corporate sectors and companies just going behind the new cancer hospitals only in place of the multi-specialty hospital. They are coming with new big cancer specialized hospital in big cities. Because here in India, every time we are laying in the screening program, here all the cases used to diagnose in the secondary stage only around 20% cases. Only 20% cases used to diagnose in the primary stage. So survival rate is also very poor, 30% only. As compared to other developed countries like European countries, there the almost all the cases used to diagnose in primary stage only. Very rarely the cases are diagnosed in secondary stage. That's why survival rate is also more as compared to our country. So here, no, I have prepared this document just to create awareness among the society and students, just to facilitate that if we are working properly as a member of rehabilitative team for the cancer rehabilitation, we can do lot of work here. And around 80% cases nowadays, if we are just talking about the cancer survival, 80% cases are the cancer survival nowadays, because lot of treatment facilities are there in our country also. And 90% cases are treatable. Only the things, early diagnosis and treatment, proper treatment is required. And here today we'll just discuss about the cancer. I will just give you a little bit introduction of the cancer. What is the cancer? What are the common types of the cancer? Then how you will assess the cancer patient and what are the common complications of the cancer. Then how you will rehabilitate the cancer patient, because lot of common complications are there. You people all know, like cancer related pain is there, cancer related fatigueness is there. Lymphedema is also one of the major complications of all the cancer cases. Then another complication like physical complications, psychological complications, social complications, so many complications are there. Difficulty in breathing. So today we'll just discuss one by one about all the complications also. So just we'll start with our question. What do you mean by cancer? Cancer just you can define as the uncontrollable growth, rapid growth. So you can tell in simple way, rapid and uncontrollable development production of the cells is generally called as the cancer. You know about the normal cells, cell wall, nucleus, cytoplasm, everything is there. any normal cell will get any external stimulus, definitely it will convert into abnormal or cancer cell. Just go there and see. You cannot say that cancer is affected only the children, young people, or elderly people, Americans, Asians, males, females. Anybody can suffer from cancer. It's not restricted to the sex, age, region, country. No, it's a global problem. Anybody will suffer from the cancer. Just see the what happened in cancer. Normal cells just developed in the abnormal cell. It multiplies rapidly and uncontrollable growths are there. So many factors are there. Ultraviolet radiation, tobacco, chemical, dyes, these are all the external stimulus enough to change the nature of the cell and just divert the nature of the cell in the abnormal cell. Normal cell cycle, cancer is not a single disease, but great variety of symptoms you can tell that are formed by the same basic process of uncontrollable growth. Cancer is the most common problem of the clinical medicine in present scenario. It's the global problem. Throughout the globe, it's there. Cancer may affect people at all age. Only you can say the incidence is increasing with the age. There are more chance in the later age. Just when we are talking about the females, more chances after the menopausal age or age of the 45 to 50 years. When we are talking about the males, more chances after the age of the 50 years. Because the incidence is always increasing with the age. Early diagnosis and early treatment is always required here. And the people and the groups who are more prone to develop the cancer, we should give more emphasis for that particular group. We should identify in early stage only, so we can just totally eradicate the cancer from our society. Symptoms always associated with the region only, like if the brain is affected, headache, seizures, vertigo, respiratory system, lymph nodes means lymphadenopathy, lymphedema, liver means hepatomegaly, jaundice, skeletal system is pain, fractures, spinal cord compression, lot of symptoms are there. What are the external factors responsible for development of the cancer? Radiation, chemicals, viruses, lifestyle changes. Internal factors is always hormonal changes, immune conditions, and some of the inherited mutations. Some of the theories also supporting the cancer development, like carcinogenous, oncogenous theories. So many factors are there. And one more thing in cancer only, lifetime risk is there. You cannot say the only children or the adults or the elderly people will affect from the cancer. Lifetime risk is there. It can affect anybody anytime. Only the thing is there, the incidence is always increasing with the age. Again and again I am telling you. Then relative risk is there. What is the relative risk? Some people are more prone for development of any type of cancer. Just for example, Americans are more prone for development of the prostate cancer. European people are more prone for development of the dermal cancer. Then females are more prone for development of the breast and gynecological cancer after the age of 45 to 50 years. Males are more prone for development of the prostate cancer after the age of 50 years. So some people are relative risk age compared to others. Then some of the most common factor for developing of the cancer is like smoking. And when we are just talking about all the types of cancer in world, around 30% of cancer because of the smoking habits only. And when we are talking especially about the lung cancer, 87% of lung cancer develop because of the smoking only. Another factor is the obesity. Around 50% people suffering from the obesity, they are more prone for development of any type of cancer, colorectal cancer, breast cancer. When we are talking about the females, gynecological cancer. So some of the most common factors are there. Always the etiological factor is either genetic, environmental, medical, or lifestyle disorders. In present scenario, these are the most common factors for development of any type of cancer. Some of the chemicals, those are responsible for the people, those are working in some special type of industry like alcohol, especially wooden dust, rubber, tar, vitamin, aflatoxin. So they are more prone for development of some type of special cancer like the lung disease, lung cancer. So chemicals are also responsible. Then another most common reason is the smoking. Most of the people, those are chain smokers, used to die in their middle age only. Latest survey came in 2006. As per that survey, 40% smokers are used to die in their middle age only. 9 to 10 patients who has died because of the lung cancer because of smoking only. Just see how much incidence there because of smoking. It's the most common factor for development of the lung cancer. Another is the alcoholism. That is also one of the most common. Industrial pollution. Some people are living in industrial areas. They are also more prone for development of any type of cancer as compared to normal people. Physical causes is also there like ultraviolet radiation, sunlight, radiation. Sometimes you will get the radiation during the cancer treatment also. Like the chemo and radio processes are going after the surgery. Sometimes you will get the physical causes because of the cancer treatment also. Then obesity, one of the most common reasons for development. What are the causes for obesity? High calorie dense diet, rich in fat, refined carbohydrates, animal proteins, low physical activity, always responsible for the development of the obesity. Then whenever obesity will come, definitely cancer is associated with the diabetes, cardiovascular problems, hypertension. So 50% people are more prone for development of any type of cancer, especially in the obese people. Then again, some of the more common factor for development of the cancer like age, because again and again I am telling you the age is the most common factor because the incidence is always increasing with the age. Then your occupation also, because some people are working in some special industry, they are more prone for development of the particular type of cancer. Ethnicity, like something related with the races also. Like the Americans are more prone for development of the prostate cancer age compared to Indians. Here mainly the people will get BPH, benign prostate hypertension, not the malignant tumor. And deprivation, if something is lagging like the nutritional disorder or some deficiency disorder, here also you will get sometimes the cancer. Then cancer is generally two types, benign and malignant. Everybody knows about that. Benign is always the self-limiting growth is there, do not invade or invade in nature. Distant metastasis is also not there. Whereas in malignant tumor, always excessive growth, invasive in nature. Distant metastasis is there. So these are also, just see the slide of the benign and malignant tumors difference. Lot of difference is there between benign and malignant tumors. Benign is always well differentiated, anaplastic, whereas growth rate in benign is slow, whereas in malignant rapid. Then another factor is the mode of growth is expansive in benign, whereas in malignant always growth is infiltrative and expansive in nature. Then metastasis, no chance of metastasis in benign, whereas distant metastasis is always there in malignant tumors. Then benign is usually harmless for our body. The most common example for benign tumor is the uterine polyps, whereas the malignant tumor is always harmful for our body. Definitely we needed surgery here always. Then another form of the another types of cancers are like carcinomas, sarcomas, lymphomas, and leukemias. Carcinomas is always the tumors arising from the epithelial tissues, cells. Anywhere it can arise. Sarcomas are the mostly the tumor arising from the connective tissues like the muscles, tendons, capsules, cartilage, bones. Lymphomas are always the tumors arising from the lymphatic tissues. Leukemia is always the blood cancer. These are the most common types of the tumors. Then one by one we are talking about cancer. See here. When we are talking about the lung cancer, around 1,74 people suffering from the lung cancer in 2006. Okay, then since 1987, more women have died because of the lung cancer as compared to breast cancer. Because the most common cancer for the women is the breast cancer and gynecological cancer only. But see, in 1987, the most of the women died because of the lung cancer as compared to breast cancer, because lot of smokers are there in European countries, especially the females. Symptoms are always persistent cough, blood streaming, sputum, chest pain. The avoidance is always just stop smoking, and prevention also stop smoking only. Treatment is only surgery, chemo, and radio. Then here again we are taking, because we don't have any screening program in our country. Only the first screening program launched in 2002. That is the new method of X-ray, that is called spiral CT scanning, launched in our country. That is also available in some big metro cities only. Then second one, just see the picture of the lung cancer as compared to normal cancer. You can easily identify after seeing the X-ray view only. Just second one, most common cancer in our country. That is the most common cancer in our country for the female, the breast cancer. Incidence is always increasing with the age. Just see the incidence. And if we are talking about all the women, there are chances of 1 out of 8 women lifetime risk is there throughout their age. Again, the chance is increasing with the age. 1 out of 227 below the age of 40 years. 1 out of 25 from age of 40 to 60 years. 1 out of 15 years from age of 60 to 80 years. See the incidence always increasing with the age. Again, clinical feature is the lump in the breast, pain in the breast, some abnormal development in the breast. Self-examination is the most important factor here for all the females. Risk factors is always hyperplasia, long menstrual history, obesity, menopause, oral contraceptive device, low physical activity. These are the most common risk factors for development of the breast cancer. Treatment again, lumpectomy and mastectomy. So many types of mastectomies are there. Simple mastectomy, extended radical mastectomy. Prevention is always exercise, especially after the menopausal age or at the age of the 40 to 45 to 50 years in all the females. after the age of the hormonal changes. If they will go for the regular exercises, there are less chance for development of the breast cancer. Again, just see the screening here also we are lagging. That's why almost case used to diagnose in secondary stage only, and the survival rate is also very low as compared to developed countries. Because here we don't have any yearly mammogram or clinical breast examination procedure for all the females. But in all the developed countries, after the age of the 45 to 40 years, yearly mammogram and clinical breast examination is compulsory. Every female has to go for the yearly mammography and clinical breast examination. So that's why almost there, most of the cases used to diagnose in the primary stage only. Just see again, third one is the colorectal cancer. Colorectal cancer also one of the most common cancer for the males and females both. Just see in 2006 around 1,48 new cases according to Indian Cancer Society for the colorectal cancer. The most of the cancer develop after the age of the 50 years. The most common cause is the our dietary habits, bad diet, more using of the junk foods, less intake of the dietary fibers. Our diet should be always rich in the plant and fruits origin. We should not take the more animal fats, wheat, proteins. That's why the most 90% colorectal cancers are the preventable because of our dietary habits only. What are the ways to prevent regular exercises? Diet should be heavy in fruits and plant origin. A health, weight, and moderation in alcohol consumption. We should always observe our weight control so we can prevent 90% colorectal cancer. Again, here we are lacking in screening program. There in developed countries, after the age of the 50 years, there is compulsory to go for the FOBT, fecal occult blood test yearly, once in a year. Then sigmoidoscopy in each 5 years after the age of 50 years. Then double contrast barium enema in each 5 years after the age of the 50 years. Then colonoscopy in each 10 years after the age of the 50 years. They have the fixed pattern of the screening program. That's why they are most of the cases used to diagnose in the secondary stage only. Here again we are looking. Third most common cancer is the prostate cancer. It's the most common cancer of the Americans. Just see the incidence of the prostate cancer for American in 2006. Around 2,36,34,000 people diagnosed with the prostate cancer in America in 2006. Then it's all about the prostate. It's the walnut-shaped gland, just surrounded part of the urethra. Its the normal function is the production of the seminal fluid. What are the common symptoms? Difficulty in passing urine, difficulty in stopping urination. So many common clinical features are there. Then again, here you should change your lifestyle. It's mostly developed after the age of 50 years only. And it's the risk factors are always here, especially for the prostate cancer. Nationality is also the one of the most common risk factor. Races, age, family history. Because it's so many evidences are supporting about the family history also for development of the prostate cancer. Prevention. Your diet should be always rich in leukotrienes and vitamin E. So these are the some ways to prevent from the prostate cancer. Here again we are looking for screening program. PSA antigen examination, blood PSA antigen examination. That it should be compulsory after the age of the 50 years for every man. Here again we are lagging. It's compulsory in all the developed countries. That's why all the cases who are close their 50 years they have to go for yearly PSA antigen examination. So they are almost all the cases diagnosed in the primary stage only. Next common cancer is the skin cancer. It is the most common cancer of the European countries. Why? Because of the prolonged exposure of the sunlight and the harmful ultraviolet radiation like A, B, C, some of the harmful ultraviolet radiations are there. How you can prevent yourself from the development of the skin cancer? Just limit exposure of harmful ultraviolet radiation, drink more fluids than usual, apply cool compression to your skin, apply most amendment to your skin. So by these way you can prevent yourself from the development of the skin cancer. Just see, you can just diagnose the pH of the skin by the ABCD rules: asymmetry, border irregularity, color variability, and diameter. Diameter should be more than 6 millimeter. Then definitely you can find out, easy find out the pH of skin cancer, and you can compare with the normal pH of the skin disease. So that is, here again we are lacking in the screening program. There is no definite screening program for the skin cancer. There also in developed country they are not following any special screening program for the skin cancer. So rarely we develop this type of cancer in our country or Asian region. Then next one is the testicular cancer. It is the cancer of the young generation. That is only the cancer of the young generation, mainly develops in the young age only, 15 to 35 years. And there is no another test for the testicular cancer in initial phase. Self-examination of the test is only the best way to prevent, to create the awareness among the young generation, or just to diagnose the case in the primary stage for the testicular cancer. So that is also one of the most common cancer for the men. Then ovarian cancer, fifth leading cause of death in the world, the ovarian cancer. Just see the incident: 20,180 new cases in 2006. Most common symptom is the enlargement of the lower abdomen. Sometimes lower abdomen pain is also there. So many risk factors are there, like family history, fertility, the more use of the infertility, the more use of the contraceptive device, childbearing age is the late, early marriage, abnormal menstrual history. So many things are there. Sometimes the use of more talc in the genital region. So many things are there. So prevention is always your diet should be good, weight control should be there, exercises, sleep, anxiety, stress management, and weight control. So by these way you can prevent from the ovarian cancer. Next one is the cervical endometrial cancer. Again, around 10,000 people suffering from the cervical cancer and 41,000 people from the endometrial cancer in 2016, even in USA only. Again, only the one most common test is the pap smear examination. Risk factors are same like the ovarian cancer. Again, here you can prevent the women from the ovarian cancer by the weight control, diet control, anxiety, stress management, regular exercise. Some of the way for prevent from the endometrial cancer. Here again, we are lacking there. That is compulsory to go for the pap smear examination in each 3 years after the age of the 21 years in the developed countries. So most of the cases they used to diagnose in the primary stage only. Then again, come on the some of the complications of the cancer. We have divided the complication in three parts: acute, immediate, and late. Acute is always nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, exacerbation reactions, and hypersensitivity reactions. Immediate complication is always alopecia, febrile neutropenia, pulmonary toxicity, neurological complication, and some of the later complications that it will develop in the secondary stage only: cardiac and reproductive complication. Pain. It is the most common complication for the all the cancer. Sometimes pain because of the cancer, sometimes pain because of the treatment also. So we can manage pain by so many ways. Some of the modalities also we can use. Some of the later we will discuss about the pain management. The second one most common complication is the cancer related fatigueness. Sometimes fatigueness patient will get during the treatment also. Sometimes patient will get the fatigueness during the disease also. So we have to manage the cancer related fatigueness also. Then only we can rehabilitate the patient. Sometimes patient will feel the difficulty in breathing also. Then shortness of breath is there. So we have to prescribe some sort of the breathing exercises for the rehabilitation of this type of problem of the patient. Then nausea is also one of the most common clinical feature for all the cancer patients. Sometimes in the treatment phase also, the easily nausea can manage with the medications, and sometimes maybe something else also required for the treatment of the nausea and all things. Diarrhea and constipation because of the involvement of the bowels during the treatment phase or during the disease phase also. Weight loss is also there because the normal cells are just taking the nutrients. Abnormal cells are just taking nutrition from the normal cell. That's why the weight loss is there. So we have to manage the weight loss also during our rehabilitation phase for the by the good nutritional diet for all the cancer treatment. Then chemical changes in our body is also the most common clinical feature for chemical changes are the excessive thirst, frequent urination, constipation, confusion. So chemical changes because of the cancer process only. So it is also one of the most common clinical feature. Then brain and nervous system problems. If the nervous system also involved in any cancer process, then definitely will get the nervous system involvement and brain involvement also. The clinical features like stroke you will get sometime. Then sometimes you will get the clinical feature related to the nerves also. Then headache is also one of the most common clinical feature. Then unusual immune system reactions to cancer also sometimes you will get because of the body's immune system may react to the presence of cancer by attacking healthy cells. That's why you will get the unusual immune system reaction in the cancer. Sometimes you will get this condition also. How you will diagnose the cancer patient? So many ways are there: biopsy, endoscopy, blood test, bone marrow aspiration, pap smear examination. Just only I told for endometrial cancer. Visual and tactile observation, especially in the case of the testis cancer or breast cancer. Imaging studies like mammography in the breast cancer, CT scan, MRI, ultrasonography. So many techniques are there. Then genetic analysis also, especially in some of the inherited disorders. So many things are there for diagnosis of the cancer. The treatment also, so many latest treatment therapies are there, like surgery, chemo, radio. Mostly the patient used to go give after the surgery only. Target therapy, when we want to target and destroy some of the special cells, then surgeons will use the target therapy also. Immunotherapy, hyperthermia, stem cell therapy, and transplant is also one of the most common techniques. Mostly all of the surgeons and onco surgeons are they have used in last 1 decade only. But here also only 50% chances are there. Nobody can say the 100% treatment is there in stem cell therapy also. Then photodynamic therapy by the help of photodynamic waves. Laser also one of the treatment of choice for the cancer. Then blood production, donation, and transfusion. That is also one of the common treatment procedure for all the types of the cancer. Then what is your role as a rehabilitation therapist or physical therapist? What you can do in the cancer patient? Your role is around 4 types: restorative, supportive, palliative treatment, and preventive rehabilitation. Restorative means you have to again restore all the functions after the rehabilitation. You have to return the quality, improve the quality of life, and you have to return the patient to normal daily activities level after the disease stage. Then supported, your role is also supported also in all the cancer care. You have to provide because you are also the member of the palliative care team. So you have to provide all the types of social, physical, psychological support to the patient. Then prevention is also necessary here because lifelong risk is there for recurrence. So prevention is also one of the most important part of your rehabilitation in all the cases of the cancer. Lymphedema, some of the most common complications for all the cancers are the lymphedema, cancer-related fatigueness, pain, peripheral neuropathy, deconditioning if neurological system involvement is there, then genitourinary complication in the secondary phase. These are the most common complications. Again, chemotherapies, radiotherapies, side effects, neuropathies, plexopathies, and myopathies because of the involvement of the muscles, nerves, and plexus. Edema is also there, lymphedema, fatigueness, just only I told you, immobility and generalized deconditioning because of the immobility, bone destruction, depression, system-specific problems because of the involvement of specific system. So these are the most common complications for cancer. Again, fatigue, cancer pain, stiffness of the joints, wound, sometimes wound infection is there, sometimes scar, keloid formation is there, scar immobility. So many things are. Lymphedema is also one of the, again and again I'm telling you. Then how you will manage the cancer related fatigueness? So many ways are there. You can manage the cancer related fatigueness by bed and exercises and aerobic exercises. Energy conservation techniques also you can use for the cancer patient. Activity exercise program, especially you can design as per the need of the cancer patient. Diversional activities also you can use for the diversion of the activities. Stress management by the some of the relaxation on breathing exercise you can do for the cancer patient. Nutritional management just to improve the nutritional status of the patient. That is also one of the treatment protocol of your rehabilitation phase. Again, how you will manage the pain, cancer when, as I told you, the one of the most common complications. You can manage the cancer pain by some of the modalities like low frequency modalities, stains, interferential therapy. Sometimes you can use the electrical stimulation also. Sometimes you can use some of the heat modalities also for the pain rehabilitation. Passive treatment, you can use passive treatment also. Sometimes you can use the heat and cold therapy also. Sometimes you can use the active exercise also, home exercise regime also for the pain management and management of the fatigueness. Lymphedema, as I told you, it is one of the most common complications for the any type of, especially in the breast and lower limb cancer. A research came in 2009 by 2001 by Pretty et al. According to that research, there are 50% chances are there for development of the BCR related cancer, breast cancer related lymphedema. 50% chances are there. So you can say there is half of the women used to suffer from the lymphedema after the breast cancer surgery, mastectomy or lumpectomy. See the incidence here. Here again, you can just see clear cut. You can see the difference between both the hands, and he has taken pictures between both the lower limbs. So easily you can recognize how much the picture of the lymphedema when you will start the practice for the cancer rehabilitation. Which type of patient used to come to your clinic for the rehabilitation? Just rule out by this picture. Again, stage first, second, third, fourth. Lymphedema, one of the most, so many classifications are there. One of the most common complication is the grade 0 to 3rd. 0 grade, no visible change is there. Only the patient will some amount of the heaviness in the limb. Grade 1st, some of the visible changes, but reversible edema you will get here. No fibrosis. Grade 2nd, mostly irreversible edema, fibrotic edema only. Grade 3rd, full of the fibrosis. So you can easily manage grade 2nd to 0 by your conservative treatment. Only the thing is there, referral services should be needed. Here we are lagging in our country. There should be expert for the lymphedema management. You can also do this work as a physical therapist or some special lymphedema therapist also available in our country. So you can easily manage the lymphedema if they will come to you at proper time in initial phase only. Only the thing is there we don't have a referral services and people come to the later stage only. Then very difficult to manage. Here just see the major organs of the lymphatic system: tonsils, thymus, spleen, lymph nodes, then bone marrow. These are the most organs for lymphatic system. Lymphedema. So many definitions are there, but the most common and simple definition is the it is always the accumulation of the protein-rich fluid in excess in any body part that has experienced damage to the lymphatic system. Just remember it. It is the accumulation of the protein-rich fluid excess in body part that has experienced damage to the lymphatic system. Or you can tell it is the always chronic swelling, long-term swelling, because you know about the difference of the acute and chronic swelling. Acute swelling, whenever you get any injury due to any trauma, any incident, you will get the acute swelling. But generally, what happens, this type of swelling will go within 1 day, 1 week, or sometimes it will take 1 month to 2 months also. But lymphedema always develop after 6 months to 1 year of the surgery, and it may develop up to 30 years also, because it's always chronic swelling, and it is developed because of the some disruption of the some part of the lymphatic system who is affected during the surgery or after the surgery during the chemo and radio. So many reasons are there. So lymphedema you can define by so many definitions. Then again, most common definitions for lymphedema is the again, you can manifest the swelling of the one or upper limb or lower limb, or sometimes half of the quadrant also. Some of time you will get the swelling of the face also. Sometimes you will get the swelling of the truncal area, sometimes neck area. So many things are there. It is a result of accumulation of fluid because of the difference between the production and transport. You know, if the production and transportation is same, there is no edema. Simple thing is there. But whenever the production is more, transportation is less, definitely you will get some edema. Same thing here also. Then next one is the again some of the part of lymphatic system. Just see here: left jugular vein, left venous angle, left subclavian. These are the major trunks for the lymphatic system. Cisterna gynae and thoracic ducts are the main organ of the lymphatic system. You can see the ventral and dorsal aspect also. So many lymph nodes are there: pre-auricular, post-auricular. Then you can get the supraclavicular, infraclavicular. Then most of the lymph nodes are located in the axillary region. 5 groups are there. You know, apical, medial, posterior, anterior. 5 groups are there. Then inguinal lymph nodes are there. Then dorsal and ventral both aspect you can see for the lymph node. Again, so many lymphatic organs are there like thymus, mucosa, associated lymphatic tissue, spleen, pair, patches in gut, tonsils. These are the major lymphatic organs for the lymphedema. What are the main function of the lymphatic system? There are two main functions of lymphatic systems are there. First one is the maintain volume and pressure of the extracellular fluid by returning excess water and dissolved substance from the interstitial fluid to the circulation. That is the first most common function of the lymphatic system. Maintain pressure and volume in extracellular fluid in interstitial space. Definitely, whenever the volume will increase, pressure will also increase. So that is the first most common function of the lymphatic system. Another function is the lymph nodes and other lymphatic tissue are the site of colonal production of immunocompetence. So lymph nodes are and lymphatic systems are responsible for maintaining our body immunity also. These are the two main functions of our lymphatic system in our body. Next, just see the picture of the lymphatic system. You all know about the arterial and venous system. What is the main function of the arterial system? Arterial system used to carry oxygenated blood to the cells for the metabolic activity. Again, you know the venous system used to carry deoxygenated blood from cellular level to the heart. just to remove from the body. Again, the oxygenated blood will come for the metabolic activity. Same time, just see the red one, blue one, and green one system. The green one system is the lymphatic system. What is the main function of the lymphatic system? Suppose around 18 to 20 liter blood used to carry by the arterial system per day in our body, and 17 to 18 liter blood carries, deoxygenated blood carries by the venous system out of our body. The remaining 2 to 3 liter that is present in interstitial space due to the changing in the osmotic pressure, who will drain this remaining part in main system. That is only the work of the lymphatic system. It is also very important system of our body. Just see the whole full green one, that is the lymphatic system only. The main function of the lymphatic system to drain extra fluid, protein rich food from interstitial space into main circulation, just to drain from our body. That is the most common function of the lymphatic system. So also one of the most important system of our body, because it's just doing the work of just draining the extra part of the fluid from our body. So it is also one of the most common system for just draining fluid from our body. Next one. Just see, around 90% of the fluid drained from our body by the venous system only, but 10% remaining part, who will drain this 10% remaining part? Lymphatic system only. Pressure is always calculated by the Stirling law in our body, just to change in the osmotic pressure. And so what is the structure of the lymphatic system? Same like the arterial and venous system. Just see here, initial lymphatic green one, that is the microscopic and smallest structure of the lymphatic system. So it is only responsible for draining the lymphatic from our body. It is the smallest part of the, see, lymphatic capillaries. So many lymphatic capillaries are there. Wave-like network is there throughout the interstitial space. They are the entry point of lymph in the lymphatic system. You know what is the lymph? Same like blood only. What are the contents of lymph? When the fluid enter in the lymphatic system, we generally call as the lymph only. The some of the debris, then protein, because again and again protein is fluid only. Some of the amino acids only, and some of the water. These are the main content of the lymphatic lymph. So lymph is always flow in the lymphatic system only. Cells of the lymphatic capillary both connect to each other in flame-like pattern. They will present throughout the interstitial space. Lymphatic capillaries are blind-ended structure responsible for just carrying the lymph from our body. Then next one is the, just a minute. My system is not working. Just a minute. Just a minute. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Just a minute, sir. Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can see, sir, again.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, it is.
Yes. Just hello.
Yes, sir.
No, you can see slide, sir.
Yeah, it is, sir.
Okay. So as I told you, lymphedema is also one of the major complication for the any type of cancer. Mostly it develops in the upper limb in the breast cancer. It develops in the lower limb in all the cancer related to the pelvic region. So how you will manage the lymphedema? Lymphedema, as I told you, it is always the chronic swelling and always the lymph is rich in the protein content. So many ways are there for just management of the lymphedema and cancer. The most common, you can manage the pain by cryotherapy. Sometimes you can manage the pain by TENS also, low frequency current, just only I told you. You can use the pulse magnetic field vibration and hypothermia also for the management of the pain and all this. Ultrasound you can use for healing also. And some of the latest techniques are there for lymphedema management. First one is the MLD, second one is the MLLB. What is MLD? Manual lymphatic drainage technique. It is a special type of massage. Always you should carry in combination of three things. Just remember about three things. First one is the skin care. Second one is the compression or support. Third one is the exercise. Whenever you will do this type of massage in combination with all these three things, definitely you will get the excellent result for the lymphedema management. It is a specialized technique. So many common techniques are there in present scenario. Caseless techniques, Lundek technique, Smith technique, Kesley Hedgehog technique. So many techniques are there. But mostly we are using the Ludek or modified Ludek technique only in our country for the management of the lymphedema. Then another one technique is the MLLB, multi-layered lymphedema bandaging. Here, mostly we are using the bandaging therapy for the compression is the part of the complete decongestive therapy regime in the lymphedema treatment. Here, a lot of bandages we are using. Most of the bandages are the inelastic bandages. Our motto to provide the high working pressure and low resting pressure by the help of these bandages just to remove the edema. So that is also one of the most important technique in present scenario for the management of the lymphedema, especially in the case of the breast cancer related lymphedema or lower limb lymphedema. Sometimes we can use it for the facial edema and all these things also. For truncal edema is also. Here we are, as I told you, we are mostly using the inelastic bandages only because they have low extensibility and that produce high working pressure and low resting pressure. Whereas in another bandage, those we are using simple for simple ankle sprain and all these things. These type of bandages will provide the low working pressure but high resting pressure. That is the difference between both the bandages. Then another, sometimes we are using the drug therapy also for the management of the edema and all. Most commonly using drugs by surgeons or the physician to prescribe about these drugs, diuretics and benzophenons only. Then another treatment techniques for the cancer rehabilitation. Sometimes we are using the breathing exercises also. Most of the we are using firstly breathing exercises, coordinated breathing exercise. Coordinated breathing exercise always we are using in coordination with some activity. Breathing exercises in coordination with some activity that is called as the coordinated latest form of the exercises, coordinated breathing exercises. Then deep breathing exercises also forceful expiratory techniques like coughing and huffing also we can use for the management of the all the respiratory symptoms. Diaphragmatic breathing exercise also we can use sometimes. Then one of the most common technique again, especially we are using for the management of the lymphedema is the lymphedema tapping. Here mostly we are using the kinesiological tapping only. You all know about the tapping also. Here our motto in using tapping is the we just fixing the uppermost layer of the skin by the help of the tapping and just enhance the circulation in deeper layer. That's why we are using tapping technique here. Mostly we are just applying the tape for the 5 days and after that we'll just assess the condition of the edema and we'll remove it. Tape we should always use in the fan-like pattern only. There is one central part. Then so many slings are there. One is the broad end of the sling. Another is the narrow end. Always we will use the taping by the principle that both narrow end just facilitate the lymph towards the broad end and it will come into central part. So as you know the lymphatic circulation pathway, first initial lymphatics to prenodal, then lymph node, then postnodal, then it will end in the major trunks and after that it will go to the main circulation organ, lymphatic organ. So here also same principle we are following for the taping technique. Next is the laser therapy. As you all know, the laser therapy also high level, low level, so many types of laser, so many classifications also the helium laser, diode laser, neon, so many types of laser there. Here mostly we are using the low level laser therapy for the lymphedema management. Laser, as you know, we are using for another condition also like fibromyalgia, osteoarthritis, sometimes in carpal tunnel syndrome, RA also. So here mostly we are using the low level laser therapy just to clarify the orifices, just to drain the lymph from the interstitial space to the main circular. That is our basic principle to use laser therapy in the lymphedema management. So many evidences are there regarding the use of laser therapy also in lymphedema. Hyperbaric oxygen therapy. It is also one of the most common treatment protocol and choice of treatment procedure for so many type of the neuromuscular disorder in present scenario. So here also our motto to use hyperbaric oxygen therapy just to promote healing and just to prevent the ischemia. Because what happens here, you know, all the patient cancer they have to go for the chemo and radio also after the surgery. So anemia is the most common symptom in that because hemoglobin level just comes down 10 to 1 or 2 after one therapy only. So it is very helpful just to enhance the oxygenation level immediately. So because it is just promote the healing and oxygen. So it is also one of the most common choice and treatment protocol for cancer patients. Some therapists and rehabilitation therapists are using hyperbaric oxygen therapy also just to enhance the healing and promote ischemia. And you should always take care of the skin, especially for all the lymphedema patients. Wash daily. Skin fall should be clean and dry regularly. Skin inspection should be done regularly basis. You should apply the emollients and you just avoid the stinated product because you cannot take more risk here, especially in the cancer of the cancer patient and lymphedema cases. So you should avoid all these slated products here. Just take care about the skin always. Then conservative management of cancer. How you will manage the cancer cases? What you can do as a therapist in the cancer cases? Just see what is your aim. You want to improve the range of motion. You want to improve the strength. You want to improve the functional mobility of the patient. You just want to improve the posture also because you know the breast cancer surgery, mastectomy. What are the common postural problems? kyphotic type of posture generally you will get there. So many types, just for example, so you have to improve the posture also. Decrease pain at the surgical side, decrease edema at the affected side, because I told you about lymphedema also. You should improve the sensation also at the surgical, because always incision line is there. Patient has to go for the surgery, so always incision line is there. So you should improve the, then you all know, and we are always telling exercise is the best medicine, my opinion. So here also same procedure we are putting. What is the need for exercise in cancer patient? Treatment of our cancer may involve surgery, radiation, and chemotherapy. Almost 99% cases has to go like that only. First surgery, after that chemotherapy, because here almost all the cases used to diagnose in the secondary stage only. So in the process of destroying cancer cells, some treatment also damage healthy tissues. That's why again we have to develop the healthy tissues. So definitely exercise is very useful in the cancer rehabilitation patient. Patient may experience side effects that limit their ability to exercise during treatment and afterwards treatment also. So that's why here again and again I am telling exercise is very good medicine for all the cancer patients. What are the general guidelines for exercises? Patients should be encouraged to maintain normal functioning, mobility, and activity level after the surgery and after the chemo and radio also. Exercise movement should be tailored to the patient's needs. You should design the specific exercise program as per the needs of the patient. There is no common program for all the patients. You should always design the special program for a special type of the patient. That's why again and again I am telling here palliative care for the cancer patient. Patients should be encouraged to include appropriate warming and cool down phases in all the exercise program. You just go according to certain guideline when you will design any exercise program for the cancer patient. Just remember this thing. Just don't go like the normal patient only. Always just remember about some of the things. Always just incorporate a warm cool down in your exercise program as compared to normal patient. What are the effects of the exercise here? Definitely it will maintain the muscular strength, cardiovascular, it will improve the cardiovascular function or endurance. Psychological well-being also promote, definitely. Functional capacity also. Exercise stimulate muscle pump and increase lymph flow. There are less chances for development of, because just like I told you, there are chances up to 30 years. Most one research came in 2001, just only I told you around 50% chances of there to develop the lymphedema in all the cases of the, again whenever you will design the exercise program the cancer patient, just take care about the certain things. You should always take care about the frequency, intensity of the exercises, time, type, volume, and progression. Your frequency means, you know, session per week. Intensity means how much hard the person is exercising. Time means duration. Type activity means mode, slow, moderate, or high. Volume means increase over time. Progression, you know about it. So you just take about all these parameters before designing exercise program for the cancer patient. Why exercise should be part of your treatment design? Because the positive impact a well-tailored regular exercise program can have on a healthy lifestyle. Improvement of general well-being, definitely. Increase energy level and stress, manage stress and anxiety. That's why every time I am telling exercise is very useful for all the cancer patients. Again, some general rules for exercising with the cancer patient. Lifting heavy objects or running a marathon is not the best way to start the exercise regime for the cancer patient. How you will start? Always you should always start from the low activity level. Always just your frequency is always very low. Your is a moderate. You should always start with the slow or moderate level. Your time is also less duration initially. Your resistance also very minimal. So you should just take care about an exercise program should start gradually to avoid sprains and injury to the muscle. If you start with a rapid exercise program like running a marathon, what will happen? Definitely, patient will get some type of the sprains or injury. Then again, you have to stop your exercise program. So always go with the low and slow level only, and just progress slowly for the cancer patient. Observe, watch your extremity during the exercises and after the exercise. Just watch the level, size, and shape and texture of your extremity. Because here, again, lymphedema is the major complication. You should always observe about the texture, size, and shape of the extremity during the exercise also, after the exercise also. Just take care about all these things. Management of fatigue. How you can manage the cancer-related fatigueness. I already told you. Activity exercise program, diverse activities, rest, sleep pattern, stress management, nutritional management also. You bed and exercise. Oh, sorry, bed rest and aerobic exercise also you can design for management of the fatigueness. Then aerobic exercise. It is the best exercise program, initial best exercise program for any cancer rehabilitation resign. You should always go with the aerobic exercise program only. After that, what are the main things you should put in your consideration before designing any aerobic exercise program? Just go for the frequency. Your frequency should not more than 3 to 5 days per week. Just remember it. Your intensity is always moderate. Don't go for the high intensity. Time, you should not start more than 75 minutes per week initially. So what do you mean by if you are doing 3 days, 25 minutes per day you can use, and if you are just giving 5 days a week, 15 minutes per day you can use mix. Your progression is also slower as compared to normal patient. Just remember all these things and design aerobic exercise program for the cancer patient. It is the best. Aerobic exercise or defined as the rhythmic contraction and relaxation of larger muscle groups over a prolonged time. Just remember this. Rhythmical contraction and relaxation of larger muscle group over a prolonged time. Aerobic exercise have shown to be beneficial for cancer patients who are undergoing treatment. You cannot, it's not necessary you should always start the exercise program after the treatment only. After the surgery, immediately you can start the exercise program. Mostly you can start after the 6 week of surgery. When the chemo and radio is also going on, you can start your aerobic exercise program. It is the best exercise program. Just see, one research came in Moog and colleagues reported that home-based walking at moderate intensity perform for 10 to 15 minutes per day 4 to 6 weeks, it is the best exercise for any cancer patient. If you cannot design any exercise program, you can go with the walking also. So one research came from Mac and colleagues. They have reported according to that research, if somebody is doing 10 to 50 minutes per day walking for 4 to 6 days per week, and if it will continue for 6 weeks, it is also very helpful to manage the aerobic symptoms in the cancer patient. An aerobic training program may break this circle of lack of exercise, impaired performance, and EG fatigueness. So it is very good exercises just to manage the cancer-related fatigueness. You should design the aerobic exercise program only for the cancer patient. Breathing faster helps speed the flow of lymph fluid. Aerobic exercise can help your beat fatigue and give you more energy for your everyday activities. That's why always design the exercise program with aerobic program only for cancer patient. Aerobic exercise can help keep you from gaining weight. Do aerobic exercise 20 to 30 minutes at a time, at least 5 times a week. So it is good choice of exercise for any cancer patient. If patient will do 20, 30 minutes per day exercises for 5 days a week also, then no, it's a good for in the beginning phase just to rehabilitate any cancer patient. Simple exercise program. How you will start the aerobic exercise program? You can start with the proximal muscle first. Just start with the 5 sets each muscle and 2 sets per day in one session, and start with the proximal muscle. Then go for the distal muscle. Then it is helpful to just avoid the chances of development of the lymphedema also. Then swinging and water aerobics also one of the good exercise for the any cancer patient. With the body weight reduced by, because in the water 90% body weight always reduced, so it's best exercise. Swimming also best exercise for the cancer patient. Exercise performed in the water improves mobility and enhance strength and muscle tone. So definitely you can go, a patient can go for the swinging and water aerobic exercise also in the rehabilitation phase. Then walking also, 20 minutes walking outdoors. It is also one of the good method of exercises for any cancer patient. So you can use this one also. Yoga. The combination of stretching, deep breathing, relaxation, asanas and pranayama, that is also one of the most common and good thing for the cancer patient. So you can use, you can incorporate this yoga and asanas also in your rehabilitation program for any cancer patient. It is also one of the good exercise. Leveled method. This method is especially designed for the breast cancer method patients only after the post mastectomy cases. So in this method, they are mostly focusing on the healing through movements and dance. So it is when this method they have tried on so many patients, they will get a tremendous result in the just avoid the frozen shoulder cases and improve the posture, especially in the case of the post rehabilitation of the mastectomy BCR related cases. So that is also one of the most common newly developed method for the breast cancer surgery females, especially. It is helpful in just to avoid the development of chance of the lymphedema also. So you can go by the labeled method also. Then yoga, just only I told you. Pilates. Pilates form of exercise also demonstrate to strengthen the core muscles, subsequently leading to improvement in the spine flexibility and posture. Definitely, if you go for the Pilates form of exercise, it will helpful to develop the spine flexibility and posture. So you can incorporate the Pilates exercise program also in your rehabilitation program. Then resistive exercise. Resistive exercise involves muscle contraction against resistance, leading to improvement in muscle function and bone density. When you will find your patient fit with the aerobic exercise program, you can go for the resistive exercise program. But during the resistive exercise program, you just take care about something. Resistance you can provide by the dumbbells, weight guards, then another resistive things also. But here, just remember that resistance training consists of 2 sets of 8 to 12 or 8 to 10 repetitions per day only. And that is also 3 to 5 times per week only. And go like that only for 6 weeks. After that only you can just increase your resistance. Initially go for with the minimal resistance only and 10 repetition in one set, 1 or 2 sets per day and 5 times a week only. Remember this thing only. Whenever you will design the resistive exercise program for any cancer patient, warm up and cool down phase should be always there. And start with the proximal muscles and main muscle of for the upper limb first, like the deltoid, rhomboides, trapezius, latissimus dorsi, and all these muscles. Whenever you start for the lower limb, start with the tendoachetes, quadriceps, and hamstring, all these muscles. Your frequency should be always 5 days per week only. Don't go more than 5 days, 3 to 5 days per week only. Intensity, always start with the minimal weight, 1 to 2 pounds only. And your repetition, as I told you earlier, also 8 to 12 repetition per set, maximum 1 set or 2 sets per day initially. And your progression is also slower as compared to another person. Remember all these things also when you will design them. Then stress and anxiety you can manage by the breathing exercise also. Definitely, breathing exercises is very helpful to keep your lungs clear, reduce your pain. With this exercise, make it easier to relax, lower or control your stress and anxiety. So here also you can incorporate some of the breathing exercise in your exercise program. Relaxation exercise also. Relaxation exercise is also helpful to reduce anxiety, increase your energy level, improve your concentration, increase your self-confidence, prevent stress from building up to. So it is also one of the breathing exercises you can incorporate so many breathing exercises like parsley breathing exercises, abdominal diaphragmatic breathing exercises. Then you can go for the ACBT also, active cycle of breathing technique, new technique only. So you can go for the ACBT also. It is also very helpful to rehabilitate the cancer patient. Then strengthening exercises, you just muscle tightening helps speed the flow of lymph fluid. Definitely, it will increase the venous return and lymphatic fluid. So less chances for development of the lymphedema. Exercise in moderation and increase your exercise slowly. Remember all these things while designing a strengthening exercise program for lymphedema cases. Again and again, I'm telling. Some of the form of neck exercises, especially for the cancer of the head and neck cancer. So definitely there are sometimes TMJ joint cancer also, so many type of head and neck cancer, cancer related with the tongue, cancer related with the oral cavity, cancer related with the glands, salivary gland, cancer related with the larynx, cancer related with the, so many type of cancers are there. There you have to go for the some of the form of neck exercises. Some of the exercises I will show you here. Just first one, tilting, turning, chin to chest. Just see here picture. This type of exercise you can design for the head and neck cancer patient if it is required there in rehabilitation. SCM exercise also, exercise for the sternocleidomastoid muscle. So neck rotation and like that you can design for the cancer patient. Looking over your left and right shoulder, head tilts. Just see the diagram here. A small adjustment to relieve sternocleidomastoid pain. Posture and ergonomics. Just give more concentration on posture and ergonomics. Then you can design some of the exercise for trapezius muscle also. Shoulder blade squeezing like that. Then shrugging, shoulder shrugging exercises. Upright row, you have to do upright row also. You can do with the help of dumbbells also. Then push-ups, you can go for push-ups also. Then some of the exercises for TMJ joints also. Because so many types of cancers are there for TMJ joint also. Sometimes the maxillary orofacial surgeon have to go for the TMJ joint surgery also. So they can go in the rehabilitation page for the exercise also, like the mouth exercises. Open and close your mouth, blow kisses, smile, say the vowels A, E, I, O, U, chew sugar, pee, gum, jaw exercises, side to side movement, and retraction and protection movement of the jaw. Then again, some of the exercises, the patient who is having difficulty in swallowing, or some patient who has difficulty in mouth opening also, sometimes in dysphagia management also. So many type of exercises are there. So some of the most common exercises are tongue resistance, swelling amplitude, gum chew, Mendelssohn maneuver, and Moscow maneuver. Just one by one we'll go. Just see here. First one, tongue resistance. You have to provide resistance to the tongue with the help of the mouth opener or something. Then apply the pressure by the help of that avoid restrict the movement by the help of the mouth opener, and just push the mouth of the with the help of the tongue. Definitely you can go for the resistive exercise for the tongue. Then second one again, just place your finger against your left cheek, 1 inch from the corner of your mouth. From the inside, push your tongue against your cheek. Resistive exercise. Second one. Then swell amplitude also you can go prescribe the patient who has difficulty, or some patient dysphagia patient also, for the management of dysphagia or the swelling difficulty also. That is also one of the most common exercise. Then gum chew exercise also. Just see here. Like that you can prescribe the patient gum chew exercise also. Then Mendelssohn maneuver also. Here, take a small bite of food or sip of water in your mouth. Hold the food in your mouth. Then position your index finger thumb around the Adam's apple. Here, you just position your index finger and thumb here, and swelling the food. Feel the upward movement of the Adam's apple. Then just see, position the here and feel the movement of the Adam's apple here. Just hold it for 5 to 6 seconds and then relax. Just repeat this exercises for 6 times in one session and twice a day. In initial phase, it is also one of the very good. The next one is the Moscow maneuver. Here again, very simple. Just put your tongue between the front teeth, like that. Then try to swallow your spit with your tongue in that position and relax it. Just hold for 6 seconds, then relax it. It is also one of the very good exercises for swallowing difficulty and all the cases of head and neck cancer. Then relax jaw exercises. Rest your tongue gently on the top of your mouth behind your upper front teeth. Allow your teeth to come apart while relaxing your jaw muscles. It is also one of the most important exercises for the jaw disorder, TMJ jaw disorder. You will get that good result here. Then goldfish exercise in both the way, partial opening. What you will do here, place your tongue on the floor of your mouth and one finger in front of your ear here. Then another finger you will just put here in front of the center of the chin. There should be mild resistance but not pain. A variation of this exercise is to place one finger on each TMJ, once here, then another TMJ joint. The TMJ you drop your lower jaw halfway and close again. Just drop your jaw, lower jaw halfway only, not full way. The next pattern again, full opening. Here you just drop jaw full way. It is also one of the good exercise. Same position with the TMJ joint, then with the another TMJ. Just repeat it. Hold for 6 seconds. Repeat 5 to 6 times in one session, and do 2 sessions per day only. It is also one of the very good exercises. Next is the first with your mouth open as wide as possible, like this. Then use your right hand to slowly push on the right side your jaw. Push right side of your hold in position for 10 seconds and return to the middle. Repeat on the another side. Repeat on the another side. You can go for this exercise also. Then second exercise, you can use both the hands also. Track the hinge of your jaw and massage the muscle with a downward motion. So you can use this exercise also. Third exercise, place your thumb underneath the center of your chin. Place your thumb underneath the center of your chin while also applying gentle pressure from the bottom. Hold your mouth open for 3 to 6 seconds and repeat 6 times. That is also one of the most. Then fourth exercise, just open your full mouth. Advise as you can without feeling any pain. Don't go more than pain range. Okay, just open until you will not feel any pain. Return to closed mouth. Open your mouth. Return to closed mouth. That is also. Then fifth one, just hold one object that is half inches thickness only between your both the teeth. Gently move your jaw from one side to another side. Repeat this several times. Then again, sixth one, What you will do again, hold the half inches of that between your teeth, but no move that anteriorly and posteriorly, retraction and protection. Don't go for side to side. So here, seventh one again, open your mouth and wide as you can and place the tip of your tongue on the roof of the your mouth. While gently applying pressure, move the tip of your tongue towards your tonsils and hold it there for 5 seconds. Remember this thing. Move your tongue towards your tonsil and hold it for 5 seconds. That is also one of the good exercises for swelling disorder. Then facial exercise. You all know about the facial exercise: lip closure, joint mouth movements, eye movements, smiling, frowning, facial expression, forehead, wrinkling. So many exercises. Just go by the diagram only. So you can just prescribe facial exercises for to the patient also. In some case of the hand and cancer disorder, just go by the diagram. So many exercises here. Turn the corner of the mouth tip, push the upward to forward, wrinkle the nose, screw up the eyes lightly. So many exercises. Open your mouth full, close your mouth, just close your eyes. So many exercises are there. Then some of the swelling exercise also. Just see here. First one, shaker exercise. Very simple exercise. This simple exercise can strengthen muscles to improve your swelling ability. To perform this exercise, lie down on your back, trying to fixate your gaze on your toes. Then what you will do? Raise your head as though you were. Raise your head as though you were. Okay. Don't try to lift your shoulder. Remember this thing. Next diagram. It is very simple exercise. Next one is the hyoid lift manual. Here again, just put 5 to 6 paper pieces in front of your own pillow and just take one straw. With the help of that straw, just try to suck one paper piece and repeat it for 5 to 6 times in one set. Next one is the effortful swallowing exercise. Here again, very simple. What will the pressure of this exercise to improve the contact and coordination between the different muscle used during the work of swallowing. That is our main purpose behind this exercise. The exercise consists of swallowing, but as you do it, you must try to squeeze all the muscles of the swallowing. Just try to squeeze all the muscles. Just see the diagram. Supraglottic swallowing exercise. Here again, just see. Next one, electric stimulation. Sometimes you can use electric stimulation technique also, just to stimulate the muscle of the swallowing region. So just see the placement here. Like that, you can place the electrodes. Sometimes you can use this method also. The body of literature about electric stimulation, so many nowadays, so many evidences are there regarding the electric stimulation also for the muscle of swallowing. You will get the good result here also. Electric stimulation is promoted as a treatment technique for speech and swallowing disorder that uses an electric current to stimulate the nerves either superficially via the skin or directly into the muscle in order to stimulate the peripheral nerves. That is the basic principle behind the electric stimulation for swallowing muscle. Oral motor therapy exercise also sometimes you can use as a treatment maneuver for the head and neck cancer disorder or TMJ or swelling disorder or some patient in the dysphagia disorder. Oral motor treatment include stimulation of the action of the lips, jaw, tongue, soft palate, pharynx, larynx, and respiratory muscles. These are the muscles mainly stimulated by this type of exercises. Just see the diagram here again. Laryngeal elevation, tongue hold, again, postural positioning, chin down and chin up posture positioning, chin down and chin up postural position. Chin down first one, chin up second one. Then head rotation and head tilting. Head rotation and head tilting. Prosthesis also sometimes so many types of prosthesis also available in the market for this type. Then sensory stimulation technique variant may include thermal tactile stimulation. It is also very useful technique for the rehabilitation purpose. Sensory stimulation technique. So you can use this technique also. Just see how you will stimulate the sensory. Then shoulder exercise. So many types of shoulder exercise also there, especially in the case of the mastectomy. BCRL cases, women those have undergone the mastectomy. So there definitely chances of the stiffness of shoulder joint, same side of shoulder joint is there. Chances of frozen shoulder is there. So you can use so many type of the shoulder exercise also here. Just see here, shoulder horizontal abduction, flexion, extending exercises. P stretch, chair rotation, revolted triangle exercises. This one. Then upward plank exercises. You can go for the upward plank also. Then pole walking also you can use for the. Then most common exercise like the pole squeezing, shoulder shrugging, head turning, shoulder circling. You can go in the anti-clockwise and clockwise direction. External arm rotation. You can go by like the internal and external arm rotation. Pendular exercise you already know. Then elbow push-ups, shoulder flexion exercises, front and sidewise, shoulder side lift pole exercises, weight climbing exercises just to improve the extension of the shoulder joint, forward lifting exercises, and tilting side to side with the in the supine position with the help of one rod. You can go for tilting side to side exercise also. Then chest wall stretch exercise also just to improve your posture, especially in the case of the post rehabilitation mastectomy. You can go. Then arm exercise also. After shoulder, you can go for the elbow region and the wrist region exercise also. Just see how you can go for the elbow and wrist exercises. Elbow flexion, seated position, elbow extension, toe exercises, wrist exercises also you can do, hand exercises also. Then lower limb exercise also, especially in the case of the lower limb lymphedema or pelvic region cancer and so many abdominal cancer. Sometimes the lymphedema will develop in the lower limb also, and so many another neurological and musculoskeletal complication is also there. So you can go for the lower limb exercises also. Then TheraBand. According to APTA, American Physiotherapy Association, I am also recommending for all the cancer patients, TheraBand exercise is the best exercise. Why? Because the TheraBand is only only device which you can carry easily, easy to purchase also, easy to move also, easy to put in your pocket also. It's available in so many colors. So you can design with one TheraBand all the exercise program also, resistive, assistive, all the exercise you can do with the help of TheraBand. So I also recommend so much TheraBand exercises for the cancer patient. You can just design one special TheraBand exercise program for especially for the cancer patient, as per the need of the patient. Just see how you will prescribe the exercise with the help of TheraBand to the patient. Shoulder flexion, extension, adduction, abduction, rotation, external and internal rotation of the shoulder joint, lateral rise, front rise, overhead press, elbow flexion, elbow extension, wrist flexion, and supination, pronation. All the exercises you can design with the help of one TheraBand. Hip flexion, hip extension, hip abduction, hip adduction, hip internal rotation, hip external rotation, terminal knee extension, knee flexion, prone position also you can do knee flexion, extension, ankle dorsiflexion and plantar flexion also with the help of TheraBand. Then flexibility exercise also. Elevation also, you all know the elevation is always helpful in the relieving edema. So always perform all the exercise or try to perform as much as you can do in the elevation position only. The dietary management. Some of the flavonoids are a chemical compound in fruits and vegetables. There are thought to be a leading source protection against the cancer. Okay, so your diet should be enriched in the flavor-rich food are apples, black beans, broccoli, cabbage, garlic, onions, and soya seeds. You should just conscious about the diet also, because diet is also one of the most important part of the rehabilitation. And sometimes you will get this type of symptom also: anorexia, nausea, vomiting, dry mouth, mouth sores, taste changes, sore food, lactose intolerance, weight gain during the rehabilitation phase. Also, you should just take care about all these complications also during your rehabilitation phase and manage all these complications also. Compression therapy. As I told you in MLLB also, MLLB also the part of the compression therapy. Compression therapy is also one of the important part of the edema management. So many type of varieties of compression garments are available in the market: elastic hosiery, sleeves. So here also compression garments and compression therapy is also very most important part of the management in the cancer rehabilitation, especially in the lymphedema rehabilitation. So just see, all the compression garment designs depends on the quality of the yarn only. So many type of yarn is there. Then knitting technique, plate knitting and circular knitting techniques are there. So plate knitting technique is always difficult to design as compared to circular knitting technique. All the plate knitting custom design only. Then slightly easy to own but difficult to own, but it's very costly, expensive plate knitting. As the circular knitting compression hosieries are easily available. It's very cheaper. So mostly we are using the circular knitting hosieries only. Just see the pressure changes also. 14 to 80 millimeter OHG generally we are using for the palliative patients. But another cases like venous insufficiency, chronic edema, and elephantiasis, we are using the pressure more than 18 mm of OHG, up to 40 mm of OHG also. So many type of compression hosieries like ferro red, circular knitting, Velcro wrapping systems are available in the market. So here we are not only using the compression therapy for the cancer patient, we are using the compression therapy for venous insufficiency also, post liposuction cases also, lipedema also, pregnancy also, DVT prevention also, then dependency. So many other cases also we are using the compression garments and compression hosiery. Then sometimes contraindications also are there for using compression therapy, venous insufficiency, outgrowth, such DVT cases, lymphoria cases, congestive cardiac failure, arterial insufficiency is there. So many cases. So we have to take care while using the compression therapy also. Pneumatic pumps, IPC, the most simple usable device available in all the cancer rehabilitation clinics and cancer hospitals, available in so many modes and so many parameters. Sometimes it's available in computerized pattern also. So intermittent pneumatic compression device is the simple therapeutic technique used in medical device that are include an air pump and inflatable auxiliary sleeves. You can inflate the pressure and decrease the pressure in different sleeves also. It's available in so many modes also. It's available in continuous and pulsatile modes also. It's a very good device just to relieve the edema. Especially we are using in the case of the lymphedema. Sometimes we are using for the cancer related cases in normal cases also. IPC, so many modes are there. What are the benefits of IPC? Reduction of pain and swelling after the surgery, early wound healing. It is helpful in early wound healing also. Reduce edema also. It is convenient in home also, carry office also. Easy to use and maintain. It's adjustable with the patient. Ability to clean and lifetime treatment for underlying conditions. Some patients used to purchase by themselves also because they are using this IPC for lifetime also. It's a very simple device. Patient can use by themselves also. And you know how we can prevent the society from cancer. So prevention always involves 3 steps. Primary prevention, avoidance of exposure, like the smoking and tobacco chewing. Early detection of the cancer. Because here again and again, I am telling, we are just lacking in the screening in our country. So if the early detection of the cancer is there, definitely the survival rate will increase, like the developed country. And third one is the genetic testing should be required here, because lot of cancer just supporting the family history and another hereditary disorders also. So here, if we have the facility of genetic testing, definitely we can avoid the cancer. So 3 type of the prevention we needed here. No family history, get regular medical screening, learn self-examination technique. Just only I told you it's very necessary for so many type of cancer like the testis cancer and breast cancer. Avoid direct sunlight, just avoid the skin cancer. Watch your diet and weight control always. Don't smoke, don't go for the alcohol. Become educated, be educated yourself, make the other educated. So like that you can rehabilitate the cancer patient. Thank you. Gaurav sir, hello.
Yes, sir. Dr. Advita is here.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Dr. Advita is here. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your valuable knowledge. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Really, we learned a lot, and we. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
I think time is more than 1 hour already. It was 30. So
yeah, it is, but it is a very wonderful session. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks to all participants also. Yes, sir. Pardon.
Kushne, thank you, sir.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.
Should I stop here?
Sorry.
Should I stop here, sir?
I'm not getting your voice, sir.
Oh, should I stop here, sir?
Yeah, you can, sir.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thanks to all participants also and attended this session. Thanks,
Sure,
Gaurav,
sure.
sir. Thanks to Navjot, sir, also. Thanks, Arpita.
Sure.